Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. You will not believe who I have on this afternoon. It is Spinny G. Spinny, it's been a long time, but it's so good to see you, brother.
I'm glad to be here. I totally am glad you have added so much inspiration to the space. I just couldn't miss it. I had to come on and hey, let's expound on our experiences and the freedom that we are experiencing. So,
No, that's great. And just for our new viewers, in the description box below, I'm going to put all of Spinny G's information, YouTube, Twitter. You don't need to write it down. I'm going to put it in the link below. Subscribe, follow. He is a wealth of information. And while I was in the Marines a million years ago, you're in the Army Reserve now. So I salute you for that, Spinny.
I salute you back because you guys have paved the way for us
Oh,
young
gosh.
guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So I like to just start with every interview. Let's go kind of back to the beginning. So give us a little flavor of where, when, why, how, and when, or when, yeah, you got interested in cryptocurrency. Like, what's your story? I'd love to hear it.
My goodness, this has taken me back well over a decade ago
Wow.
when I got heavy into um, gold and silver.
Okay.
As far as research is concerned,
Sure.
because I mean, everyone's got to do their due diligence, and I've done mine like a decade some ago, early 2000s, when I figured out. Well, actually, I said mid to late when I really started waking up and
Yeah.
figuring out. Wait a second, what's going on with the U.S. dollar?
Yeah.
What? How has its value? How has its value evaporated so much? And then I went back in time, figured out. Okay, 1970, and during that era is when Nixon took us off the gold standard.
Yeah.
And so from then on, it has just been rapid decline, a constant killing of the dollar. And I was like, wait a second, um, what is this? And then I also, when I was a little boy, I always asked my folks, it's like, what's going on with the shekel? What's going on? Let's talk more about, why are people paying with silver? Why are people paying with gold in the Bible? And long story short, it all tied together, tail end of 2008, I want to say 2007, somewhere around there. It's like, wait a second, I'm going to have to get into the market and really having some hard assets in my hand.
Sure.
So, and from there, I mean, I did hear about Bitcoin in 2009, 2010, 11ish, around there. And I was in Afghanistan in 2011, 2012. Um, you know, Over there, the locals are big into precious stones, precious metals.
Mm.
So to me, like, I didn't really want to get into it back then, mainly because there was a lot of speculation. There was a whole lot of speculation about Bitcoin and those random bunch of characters and code that most people are completely unaware of.
Mm.
So, and again, when I came back from deployment, I was like, I heard more about Bitcoin. And at that point, I was still very unsure. But I got into options trading, and I got into that whole mess.
Oh gosh, cool.
I lost a bunch of money. What was it called? It was crazy, but I lost a bunch of money in the markets. And then in 2000, finally, after many failures, 2017, I got serious. I think it was just time. I came into the market, did a lot of research, but came into the market, did my research, then came into the market as far as an investor, as far as purchasing and hodling. Um, Come to find out, I came in, but I bought at the highs.
Okay, sure.
I bought at the highs and realized, you know what? I can't be sorry about it because it's all about hodling. It's all about accumulating and hanging on because I could tell in 2018, towards the summer of 2018, where a lot of big guys were throwing their weight around in the market. They were having us buy at the highs and dump it, and then buy in at the lows. And they were kind of, back at that point,
Yeah.
we already spent our savings at the highs. But they got all this money sitting around. They can come in and scoop in the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an eventful ride in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, in no particular order, again, we were just talking a little bit during the pre-interview, and we're like, hey, let's just start recording and talking.
Yeah.
One of the things that I don't have a lot of things that bother me in life, but one of the little things that bothers me is on Twitter, every time someone says a project that they're interested in, or
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm doing this, not a lot, but sometimes people jump on him or her and go, oh, you're shilling, like this, that. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
they're just talking. Like, let the person
Right.
talk. So
Exactly.
what do you like? Like, I'm not saying what you own or how much or where it's at, but like when you were investigating, researching, excuse me, cryptocurrency, like what do you like? And then I'll ask you another question after that.
Yeah. I honestly really like Litecoin.
Yeah.
I like Litecoin. I like DigiByte. Mainly because I've done my own due diligence and figured out that these are really good projects and they have very high opportunities, very high chances of sticking around
Yeah.
for the long haul. Another one that I really like is Pillar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mainly because if you listen to the Pillar project there, and it's not just a project, there's so much progress going on in the Pillar community right now that, the big thing is securing the freedom of the individual. So that's what I am totally magnetized to, and that's what draws me. Another one is the BAT token, basic attention token.
Sure.
That's another project, another big thing that's going to stick around because they're capitalizing on our attention.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to get into these projects when they are in the penny stage.
Mm-hmm.
You never know where it's going.
That's good.
You
said,
just like the Amazon stock and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. I can remember, this is a story that I tell people because you just made me think of something.
Yeah.
I was in the Marines, got married, went to college, and I can remember sophomore year, early 80s, sophomore year, my academic advisor was maybe 5 or 6 years older than I was. He wasn't that
Yeah.
much older than me. And I can remember when Microsoft went public and he was talking, we would always talk about silver and gold and stocks. And I can remember,
Yeah.
I don't remember what day it was, but I can remember sitting in his office and talking about when it was, first available to the public. And
Exactly.
I'm just like, that doesn't seem like that many years ago. It was.
What
but
they call it? They still call it IPO, correct?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but it's crazy that I can remember having a conversation, and now you're saying, you know what? We've got the same opportunity
Yeah.
with the cryptocurrencies for sure.
And the premise about why I get into what I get into is mainly because what are they doing behind the scenes? That's what adds value to why I'm in the project. Why do I like this particular cryptocurrency, or they call it altcoins.
Yeah,
You know, it's because these are like in the initial company stage.
Yeah.
Like they're at the basement level.
yeah,
They're at the bottom working on the infrastructure is still being built. You know,
Yeah.
I seriously think that we're at the infancy stage. You
Yeah.
know, and 2020, 2021, 22, these will be, they'll be in a teenage phase, if you
Yeah.
may.
Yeah.
You know,
I did a video a couple days ago, and I don't know if it was a great illustration, but I used the crypto space as like a baseball game because
yeah,
I like baseball. And I said, this is just my opinion. You know,
right,
people can disagree with me, but I said, being in the crypto space, it's like the game hasn't started yet. We're not even in the first inning. Both teams are still warming up on the sidelines, you know?
yes, totally.
So,
I totally agree.
you
I mean,
know,
look at, I mean, these are, we look at Bitcoin, we look at Litecoin, we look at DigiByte. These are blockchains being built. I mean, imagine the companies that are going to invest on
yeah,
these blockchains because they're going to use blockchain, which is a platform, to make it their superhighway.
yeah,
I mean, so there's, I mean, I'm totally excited because of the transparency it's going to bring about in a
yeah,
dishonest world, in a
yeah,
world of immorality and corruption and these politicians hiding behind the veil.
yeah,
This is like Christ ripping that veil
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah,
the what, top down. I mean,
yeah,
this is exposing the Pharisees, you know.
yeah. Well, the story
So
that I tell to people is in my family, my sphere of influence, our adult kids live by me. People, maybe because I'm older, I'm 61, but they like to ask me questions. And one of my son in laws said in 2017,
yeah,
yeah, 2017, he said to me, "What do you know about Bitcoin?" I said, "I've never heard of it. What is it?" He's like, "Well, it's a cryptocurrency." I'm like, "Huh, I've never heard crypto and currency used in the same word." And I
right,
said, "This is the honest truth." He said, I said to him, "Well, what is it? Like who uses it?" And
exactly.
he's like money launderers, terrorists, and drug people. And I'm like, huh. And in fairness to him, that's what
Yeah,
he heard. So he just repeated the story to me. And then the next month I heard about it again and again. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I better educate myself a
yeah,
little bit,
exactly,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
So I think I, like you, I'm down this rabbit hole that, I mean, every day is exciting. I get to talk to people. My crypto family expands. And, you know, I could care less how many people I have on Twitter and YouTube. It's about friendships. It's about relationships. It's about, I don't know. I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough
Oh
of it.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, just because, and we might not know the whole aspect. We're not technical in the space, but the fact that we are making presence
Yeah.
in this space is going to cause other personalities to come out of the closet and say, "Hey, let me check this out too for my own freedom's sake."
Yeah.
You know,
That's
that's
good.
my logic. It's like, you know, we're not just making a bunch of noise. We're actually we're waking up people by making presence, if you may. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm totally excited about, you know, I mean, look at, I mean, I don't want to drag another character in, but Bitcoin Ben is a great example. I mean, he's not just a truck driver, you know, and I'm not just an army officer. You know what I mean? The reason we're in this space is to like wave the flag, the
Yeah.
banner, and wake up others if they have the desire to wake
Yeah.
up.
Well, speaking of Bitcoin, Ben, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was the very first person to hold a meetup and host Bitcoin Ben. And I had heard one of his videos, and this was a while ago. And
Yeah,
he said, well, I want to start to travel. Like I want to start to do meetups. So
right.
I'm goofy enough. I sent him a friend request on Twitter, and we started talking. I'm like, if I host you, would you drive 4 hours? He's like, absolutely. So my claim to fame is, and I'm kind of joking, I hosted the very first outside of St. Louis, Missouri, where he's from, and that's public information. I was the first guy to host him outside St. Louis, Missouri. So
You know,
anyhow,
I was really trying to make it for that one. Honestly, it was the following one that I eventually caught.
okay,
Because he did another meetup soon after that one
okay,
in St. Louis,
okay,
and I was working at a unit close by to it, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go. Let me change my clothes, and I'm
I'm
gonna
going.
go enjoy some chicken wings, and I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of beer. You know what I mean? So
That's funny.
hey, yeah, I mean, we're making inroads. I seriously think that we're making good headway in this infancy stage.
Yeah. So
You
this is
know?
a guess on your part. I mean, again, it needed to be a guess on my part. The number, the number that I hear thrown about is like maybe 1, 2, 3% of the whole globe, if you will, have even heard about that. Are you somewhat in agreement, or I mean, is that kind of
You
your
know, it's
guesstimate?
funny. It's funny you bring that up because I actually have. I don't know if the people can pick up on the audience can pick up on this little sign. But can you guys see
Yeah.
this little sign?
Yeah, it says Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin.
Yeah. And the reason I have this sign at the store is to bring about an exposure.
Wow.
At the store because I'm at my office right now, and customers come in, they want to ship UPS, they want to ship FedEx, they want to ship regular mail, they want copies made, and I almost run a poll. Like I literally keep it up front at the counter, and I want people to like, hey, ask me some about it. You see it flashing, and so like in my head, like literally the interest hasn't set in. The desire for people to get into the space is
Okay.
not in
Yeah.
yet. The frenzy that we had in like Christmas time 2017, if you remember that
Oh yeah.
period, we were talking about how people were going to come into it, like Thanksgiving, they were going to talk about it. That was November 2017. And then come Christmas, and we really had a lot of hoopla about it,
Oh yeah.
and I remember Litecoin hitting what, 210, 220, 230. This is just take off the top of my head.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And I remember, and that's what is going on. The frenzy is going to come back in. Right now, I still think people are kind of knocking it,
Yeah.
because they really don't understand the value. They don't realize that the dollar its decline
Yeah.
is on a super decline, and that these cryptocurrencies are going to bring about the next society, if you may.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
less than 10% of the world population is somewhere around 10 to 13 is what I think. Now, I
Okay.
haven't really done too much of a
Sure. No, I understand. Yeah, yeah.
study, but that's just my feel.
Well, I know when I say my sphere of influence, the people I talk to and interact with, I mean, God bless them, they are clueless
No, exactly.
about my cryptocurrency. And I gotta tell you a funny story that really kind of touches me. So
Yeah.
I've got 5 grandchildren,
Okay.
and one of my daughters has 3 children,
Hmm.
and that daughter, my oldest daughter, at school about, I think it was in like November, they
Yeah.
had the grandparents come to the school, right?
Right.
And the grandparents got to meet the teachers and this, that, and the other thing. Well, I went in my oldest grandson's classroom, and he had like a questionnaire, okay? And he was
Wow.
asking my wife questions, Nana and Papa questions, and then one of the questions, he had to draw a picture of me, and he
Yeah.
had to draw a picture of my wife, right?
Right.
Well, when
Right.
he drew, this is true story, he drew me, and above me, he put cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
and for my eyes, he had Bitcoin. Bitcoin,
Oh my.
And I'm telling you, I talk
Oh
the
wow.
person, the people that I talk, maybe this is sad, the people that I talk to mostly about cryptocurrency are my grandkids, believe
Yeah.
it or not. And
Yep.
they're, and I didn't know what I didn't make out the Bitcoin. And I said to him, I said, what's on Papa's eyes? He's like, well, that's the Bitcoin logo. That's the B. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, they're watching. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I have my little ones at home. They're always curious. It's like, Daddy, are you still doing that cryptocurrency stuff? Are you like doing that Litecoin? Like my son, my oldest boy, he's hardly 10, and he's always like, hey, because he actually gave me his like $100 to
Hmm.
invest into Litecoin. So that's how serious my little guys are. And he understands, even at the younger stage, we homeschool our little guys,
Okay.
and we have the flexibility of teaching them. It's like,
Yeah.
listen, you know, the fiat currencies, sterling pound, dollar, yuan, renminbi,
Yeah.
they're on a decline, guys. China is getting heavy into cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
India is not really sure about
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies, but at the
Yeah.
same time, these countries are heavily investing in gold and silver,
Yeah. That's
and they're
yeah.
telling their own citizens, "Hey, get into the space." So, like, yeah, I'm totally excited about what's happening, and the fact that the little guys are watching, and this is gonna be their society
Yeah.
as
No,
we
that's good.
transition out of fiat currencies.
Yeah, no, that's really good, Spinny G. Hey, let's end with this. I always end every interview like this. So I always give the person that I'm interviewing the last word. So
Yeah,
tell us whatever's either on your mind, or oh, I wanted to bring this up and I forgot, or Crypto Mentor 99 never asked me. So again,
yeah.
we're not on a time limit, but if you just kind of what's cooking inside your mind, if you wanted to tell somebody the last word, or if they're just tuning in for the first time, or if they're a beginner, intermediate, or not an expert but advanced, what's on your heart just to tell people?
Well, those are for your listeners, and who's going to listen to the video. What I would bring to their attention is the fact that the reason blockchain, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality, they're all going to be inevitable
Yeah.
in the years ahead. Uh, they're going to remove uh, the workforce. They're going to replace the workforce. That's what I believe, and I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm witnessing it, and I always tell guys, before you get all head over heels about, oh yeah, I'm going to go to school for finance, or I'm going to go to school for accounting. I would I would advise people, really take a good look, get a good worldview of
Yeah.
what's really going on,
Wow.
and then come to a conclusions like, hey, is that is that the career path I must choose? Because I myself, I've switched up careers a lot.
Yeah.
I never realized I would have a master's of divinity degree,
Sure.
but I do. Years back, a good decade prior to it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be in business, and I did get a business degree. But you never really know how your journey, where this is going to take you.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
really do your research. I mean, do your homework. Really know what you're getting into, because that's what's going to give you the freedom, or it's going to bring about the opposite of freedom.
Sure. Interesting.
So
Well, I appreciate that. And again, I did a video or a podcast last night with a guy in Australia, a
yeah,
guy in on the East Coast about 3 hours ago. I feel, and you're included in this, Spinny G. I feel
yeah,
like my crypto family is growing, and
yes,
not that, everybody on Twitter I know, or not that everybody on YouTube that follows me I know, but I really have an affinity with the people that I interview with, because it's like my crypto family's growing now. I love it.
Yep. Yep. The like-minded people are coming together, and we're going to see here in the next couple of years. We're going to really live in a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, values are changing. We see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing how people are coming into the space. The newbies that are coming into the space, my only advice to them is do your research.
Yeah.
We see the market taking off. We're at 140 billion right now. So in a matter of week and a half, we've seen it go from 120 to 140. So this is a very, very volatile market.
Yeah.
And with that said, it takes a lot of risk analysis and do your homework.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm going to mark my calendar in about 30 days. Let's do this on a somewhat regular basis, or let's stay in touch, because you're just a swell guy, as my dad used to say. And again, I feel like my crypto family is growing, and I really appreciate you, your service to your family, to your employees, to the customers that walk in, and to the crypto space. And again, for everybody that's watching, I'm going to have all the links for Spinny G below, so you don't have to get your pencil out and be writing everything down. So Spinny G, I appreciate you, and let's do this again for sure.
Absolutely. And a lot of love to you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.